Thank you, Unity Band. What a lovely way to start the day. Well, good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, so happy you could be here with us this morning, and welcome to those of you that are joining us online. This is one of those weird Sundays that we're kind of post-Thanksgiving and we're pre-Advent. So on the tables you'll find Advent booklets, The Sweetest Christmas, that's from Unity Village, and so I invite you to take those home with you and enjoy them during the holiday season. They have some great readings in them for each day of the Advent. And if you're new to Unity, a special welcome. Hopefully on the way in, somebody gave you a CFL light bulb because we so appreciate you sharing your light with us that we would like to share a little light with you. Also, we are a prayer ministry, and our prayer box is over there should you have any concerns or celebrations. And if you'd like a little more participatory prayer, there's a prayer station over where that big round mandala is. You can go over there and connect at any time. This is a Native Heritage Month, so we'd like to just take a moment this morning, our last Sunday of November, to acknowledge the land that we're on. So today, as we join together at Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing, we acknowledge and we honor the land on which we stand and its previous inhabitants, the Three Fires Council, which was begun in 1796. And the three councils were combined, or a combination of the Ojibwe, who their whole job was to be keepers of the medicine and the faith for the group. And the Odawa were the keepers of trade and community, and the Potawatomi tribes were the keepers of the fire. And they see that keepers of the fire, the light going forward. So what great energy, what great intentions these tribes left behind for us as we now inhabit their lands. Let's affirm our mission statement together. We are spiritually awakened to our oneness with God, each other, and with all creation. And this comes out of our vision where we see a world that is powerfully transformed through a growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. And we say shared understanding there's not like a right and perfect path, but more that it's about one God, one presence, but so many paths. So we honor ourselves and each other, whatever path we're on and wherever we are on that path. So let us affirm together, the enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us, the compassion of the Christ moves through us, the power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. And with that, let's join together in a continuation of our gratitude from Thanksgiving as it flows through into the holidays. Greg, if you'll lead us in a little thank you for this day.
For this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, my wonderful, wonderful friends, my wonderful, wonderful friends. Thank you for my peace, Spirit, thank you for my peace. Thank you for my peace, Spirit, thank you for my peace. My powerful, untouchable, my inner peace. My powerful, untouchable, my inner peace. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you. We gotta put the end at the end of that one.
Oh, I don't want it to ever end. Just be thankful all the time. Thank you. This is a time that we take a few moments in prayer as we are here together, that wonderful prayer conscious where two or more are gathered. And, you know, this season really been focused on the idea of peace. And a couple weeks ago, you all had candles to take home and put in your window to help remind you to think those peaceful thoughts. And I know that in some way we were a part of the peaceful release that's happening right now in Gaza with the hostages. And we continue to hold that peace, not just for the Gaza area, but also for Ukraine and for any other place where there are conflicts. So let's just take a moment together in the silence to give gratitude for that peace, that powerful peace that is within each of us. That this peace, in this moment, is our contribution to the race consciousness of our world. That every human might join in that vibration of harmony. That every human might join in that vibration of connectedness, of that truth of our oneness. And so as we take a few moments in the silence, let it be the divine, radical silence of peace. Peace be to me, peace be to you, and peace be to our world. Amen. Okay, well, if you're like me, all full from Thanksgiving dinner, so I thought this morning a fun question might be to ask what your favorite Thanksgiving leftover is. And you're welcome to share recipes to what to do with whatever it is that you have left over there on your table.
Wow. Turkey's okay, but I get tired of that.
Yeah.
I think my favorite, we make our stuffing, it's not in the bird
Yeah.
stuffing, it's pan, and we make it into stuffing balls that are about the size of a baseball.
Uh-huh.
And those are super good.
Then, so you make them into balls, then
Yep.
what, do you heat them up? You bake them?
Oh, you bake them.
You bake them?
Yep,
So
just
they're
like if you were
crispy?
making regular stuffing. It's,
Okay.
Jill follows the Good Housekeeping cookbook recipe. Makes them into balls.
Dressing balls.
So
I
about
used to do it, and I haven't done this for ages, but I used to make a crepe.
Oh.
And in the crepe, you could put some of all the little leftovers.
Oh, that's
Cranberries, turkey gravy, mashed potatoes, whatever, and roll them up and then put some cheese on top, because everything's better with cheese.
Oh, of course.
But the desserts, I gotta admit.
Yeah. We never have all that many desserts left. But, yeah.
Well, I left them at a friend's house. We're gonna go there tonight and munch on them.
I bet you've got gratitude for
I do. I have
those
so
desserts.
gratitude.
Should we sing them?
Yeah, let's put on an attitude of gratitude. Okay. I've got an attitude. I've got an
Attitude, I've got an attitude of gratitude. I thank the universe for each new day, whether it's sunny or it's pouring rain, in any situation, time or place. My grateful heart creates a state of grace. Yeah, 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 I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude of gratitude. Got an attitude, I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude of gratitude. The darkness taught me how to praise the light. Darkness made me hunger for what's right. I haven't found a place where I don't see heaven's blessings pouring down on me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude of gratitude. I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude, I've got an attitude of gratitude. When Jesus fed the hungry multitudes, he did it with a grateful attitude. Although it looked like there was not enough, he thanked the Father for abundant love. Yeah, 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 I've got
Good morning, I'm Kathy Assiff, your platform assistant for today. Unity's daily word is grace, inspired by Paul's letter to the Ephesians. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is a gift of God. As an expression of God, we need not ever worry about earning God's approval or favor. Grace is our assurance that we are one with God and heir to all God is. We know oneness during times of deep spiritual communion, understanding we are fully human and fully divine. Through this awareness, our experience of grace deepens. We understand grace as more than a gift from God and begin to see it as an aspect of our divine inheritance. Grace is not a blessing we need hope for. It is a blessing we can count upon. It is trusting we will have what we need when we need it, that our support will come to us even from the most unlikely channels. Grace is knowing that God is with us and within us through our lives. Let us affirm together.
I trust grace is my constant blessing.
This week we are honoring our inclusion team under the leadership of Teresa Mulford. They are one of our newer teams and have an impact on everything we do here at Unity. So Teresa's going to come and talk about our team.
Hey, everybody. So one of the first things I want to mention is that I'm going to be stepping down as lead, but Miss Kathy's stepping in to take my place, and I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We've been, in existence like 2 years or so? Yeah, we have. For one thing, I was wondering if everybody on our inclusion team now would stand up and let everybody know who you are. There we go. Thanks to you guys. You guys have been ever so helpful and contributed in so many ways. Also, I was going to mention, too, we have a couple honorary members, too, that contribute from time to time, but are kind of behind the scenes. Nancy and Denise and Deb Pennington. Anyway, okay. Our mission statement is to promote increased awareness of the many facets of diversity in an effort to consciously practice the unity principle of being an inclusive, safe, welcoming environment for all people. For me, inclusion is about being reminded of what is at the core of all mainstream religions, and that is love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's simple. That's it. That's everything. So for me. And oftentimes we see it as fear when we come across people that are different from us, we might not understand, and it's usually fear, and sometimes that can grow into hate, and we really like to try to avoid that. So the best thing to do is become educated and take opportunities to educate and learn about other characteristics of other people. So I know I've learned a lot in the last year or two about neurodiversity and races, cultures, but it's all been very interesting, and it's really helpful to not quite feel quite so ignorant about certain things. So the one thing I wanted to let you know too is that our team does a lot of different things. We try to help guide the board and the leadership team on issues that come up, and we also, do, I should say Reverend Sharon does this like she does everything else, but we display the monthly nationally recognized or state recognized groups that we're trying to pay attention to. And, we fly flags and we post things on social media. Our team also came together, which I was really grateful for and was really impressed, to update our current inclusion statement. And I really loved it because everybody contributed. And I am going to read it now. I know you all know it by heart because I don't, but pretty much. Unity Spirit of Lansing. Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing, its members and affiliates, welcome with love all people in every form as God's creation. We embrace and honor the divine within as the one common denominator that we share on our human journey. We recognize the perfection represented in the mosaic of all humans by race, culture, gender, sexual identity and orientation, body type, disability, economic status, neurodiversity, life experiences, belief, ideas, and perspective. We strive to expand beyond our individual unconscious biases, blinders, ignorance, and inexperience to create a space where gaps are uncovered and opportunities to be love in action are identified and wholeness is realized. We affirm and support unity principles and programs that are non-discriminatory and inclusive in our teachings, policies, buildings, and within our communities. We champion the course of human rights and social justice for all. However varied, we are one. And I think that this is all part of our core beliefs as unity members. And that's about all I have, but please, if any of this you're extremely passionate about or not extremely, whatever, if you're interested in any way to join our team, you're more than welcome, and we'd love to have you.
And our team meets on the fourth Tuesday at 4:30 via Zoom. So, it's my pleasure to welcome DSehaun for special music. I always love it when she's singing and I'm platform assistant.
I'd just like to say how grateful I am for the Unity family. Thank you for everything. Thank you. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, 'cause no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me, oh, 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 oh. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me, oh, oh. This is me.
And we're so glad it's you. Thank you, DSehaun. Well, this is the last Sunday of our fall series of spiritual liberation inspired by the book by Michael Beckwith. And today we're going to talk about spiritual livelihood, because I think really that's what it's all about. How do we live our spirituality? How do we be human and be spiritual at the same time? How do we merge the two together in an authentic and effective way? Evelyn Rodriguez is a spiritual blogger, and I love this little bit that she wrote. She said, "Your work, when you hold back, it holds back. When you hesitate, it stands there with its hands in its pockets. But when you commit, it comes on like blazes." And that is so, so true, that once we put the energy into it, once we take that step forward, whatever that work is that we're doing, it becomes a magnet for all this other energy, for opportunities, for new ideas. It just becomes a force unto itself. Now, if you're thinking of, yeah, what have I done with my life, yada, yada, I want you to pick in your mind somebody that you admire. Could be somebody you know personally, somebody you don't know, but it seems like they have just done everything. And you go, wow, how did they do that? Now I want you to take that person in your mind, and the two of you right now are walking in together to your first day of kindergarten. We all start at the same place. And we all have those different passions, those different places we put our energy, those different ways of being authentic. And the outer world measurement is not necessarily a measurement of success, of what really counts. But whenever we look at somebody else that maybe we feel has done so much more than us, or is much more successful than us, to understand we all start at that same place, and just like in our journey to find God, there are many different paths. Each one is tailor-made for us, for that we are here to learn, what we are here to become, if you will. Well, I don't know how many of you went out on Black Friday. It is a lot saner than it used to be, because now it's Black Friday month. I know, they've kind of dissipated the energy out. But it's kind of, in a land of, so much, to have these days that are made just for shopping, kind of always catches me a little bit about commerce in our culture. We have so many things that are kind of geared in what we might not consider the most spiritual way, most loving way. So I'm going to give you a little exercise to do right now when you're sitting at the table. Underneath the table, raise your right leg and make it go in counterclockwise direction. And while you're doing that, I want you to take your hand and draw the number 6 in the air. What's happening to your foot? Is your foot going the other way? Isn't that amazing? There are some things that override in our brain. no matter what we're doing. You're going to do this all day, and you're going to say to your friends, sit down and try this. You won't believe what happens. But it shows us how our thinking is so strong on what we do. It has such an impact on us. No matter how hard we try, it's just about impossible for that not to happen. So we talk about spirituality and commerce, spirituality and business. Sometimes we look at it as either or. Either you're spiritual or you're in commerce, you're in business. But maybe it's and. It's about finding the way, that connection to combine our worldly and our spirituality into one cohesive factor, because we know there's only one. Ultimately, there is only one. There was a rich man that came to Jesus one day and said, how do I get to the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus said, well, follow all the commandments. And the guy said, I've been doing that, but I want to make sure I get to heaven. And Jesus said, well, then go and sell all your possessions and follow me. And he goes, I can't do that, and walked away, which comes to that saying many of us have heard, that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. And it's not that he was rich, but that he was attached to the outer world, that this was his measure. This was how he saw himself, by his riches and what he owned, all those things that he had. And so as we think about our commerce or our business and our spirituality, it's about finding those ways that it's not an either or, that it is a continuum of how we express and live life. I think humans have done this evolution from Darwin to more the attitude of the Dalai Lama. So I grew up in high school with being taught evolution, and evolution really says it's survival of the fittest. If you're better than the other species, you'll survive and they won't. And you develop different ways to be better survivors. We can compete better. And that gets us, as humans, we got into the sum-zero game, where there's winners and losers. So if you get +1, the other one gets -1, and we have a sum total of 0. That's a Darwinian evolutionary theory, that there's a loser that goes away, becomes extinct, and there's a winner that will evolve on. But now, as we grow into that concept of oneness, and as the world becomes so much smaller, so instantaneously smaller, we understand the impact of what we do, how it affects people thousands of miles away that we will never maybe meet or encounter personally, but our very activity is having an impact on them physically, as well as we know our thoughts are having an impact, right? That we contribute to the race consciousness. Everything that's happening in the human race, we are part of that consciousness. But if you look at businesses, the reason people, the spiritual reasons, let's say, that people start business is to serve clients, to build relationships. Good business, in the very deepest sense of good business, is about relationships with each other. It's about providing a service. One of the best jobs that I ever had, most meaningful jobs besides ministry, was delivering pizza. I just had these wonderful connections with the people that I brought pizza to. They were so happy to see me. I have never, without exception, gone to a door that I didn't get a great big smile, right? And they gave me money too. Go figure. So you just feel good when what you're doing brings a smile to somebody's face, that you're helping somebody, that you're providing a service, you're making that human connection. So this goes beyond the product into that human connection of things. And of course, commerce involves money, but money is only circulating energy. That's all that it is. It's a symbol, a promissory note of something that can be called in at a later date when you need to use it. At service, when we do the love offering and we do the blessing, do you ever think about it? We're not blessing the money. We're blessing the energy that's going to transform into, whether it's paying staff, paying utilities, supporting other organizations. We're blessing the energy that is flowing through us as individuals, through us as a community, out to bless others, and so on, and so on, and so on, that beautiful flow of the universe. When we develop our consciousness, what happens is, I think, we develop that conscience that once you know something, you can't not, once you know better, you can't not do something better. Hopefully, there's an urge within you. Even if you don't bring it into action, you know that it's wrong. There's a better way of doing that. So as we become more aware of our oneness, as we become more aware of our interaction, we start bringing this into all of our relationships. And this doesn't exclude that if you have a business, that it could be profitable. You know, so many times that the idea that Jesus said that a rich man can enter the kingdom of heaven, I think if people have money, that there's something wrong with them, they're evil, right? There's nothing wrong. This is energy that we're exchanging freely. And there's some great businesses that exemplify this so well. Whole Foods Market says, we're not retailers who have a mission, we're missionaries who retail. Isn't that a beautiful way to do commerce? To get that you're doing a service, you're bringing good nutrition and food to the market, and you are there to serve. There to serve. It's just beautiful. And of course, the one that stands out, you've probably all seen Newman's Own. Let's give it all away. He has in his logo. I love this. Since 1982, when they started, they've given away over $600 million in profit. Now, he died a number of years ago, but that business is still going on. So even after his physical presence has left, his intention, that commerce that he started from that whole idea of being in service and sharing the good is continuing on. I mean, what a beautiful legacy to leave behind. So if you think about our spiritual livelihood, how we live our life is really about making a noble profit in the sense of what the word noble means. Noble being the operative word. That noble means having that higher cause. No matter what our commerce is, what our work is, whether it be volunteer, whether it be in the home, whether it be out in the community, whether it be something we were paid for or something not, having that noble purpose for our actions raises the vibration of everything that we do. It's an expression of love going out into our world. And one of the most noble profits I think that we can get out of business is beautification. And sometimes we go, oh, that's secondary. You know, that's not necessary to have beauty. But they found now that refugees, there's so many refugees in our world, the refugees that are short on water, short on food, short on everything, take time to beautify their space, even if it's sweeping out a dirt floor in their tent. You see here where they've painted these old doors that they've hung up there, these efforts to beautify a space. And what they find that happens is when people put effort and energy into beautification, something happens internally. I think it puts us in the flow of creativity. But they feel that where all these other circumstances they can't control, they can control the ability to make beauty. Do you ever think about that control, that we each have the ability to make beauty? Maybe it's a path where the brick has been askewed and you just straighten it. And you just have a little tingle of good, right? Good feeling about that. And one picture that just really struck me is over in Gaza, where there's so many kids involved, that it's happening even over there. This little girl, it was her birthday, and even though they're in the ruins, they did what they could to make this birthday beautiful. Who knows where they found the balloons? You know, who knows where she found the little heel shoes to wear or the little birthday hat? But that kind of effort, what happens is it creates hope in us. When we see something beautiful, think about it. Even if you go outside at night and the stars are out and it's just gorgeous, or the moon is glowing, and there's just something about it, and you go, oh, that's beautiful. You can feel something happening within us, something energetically, something loving. That's that creative power of spirit moving in and through us. So we have evolution in our own personal livelihood. However, livelihood meaning, for me, how we live our lives. It's really about the spiritual work we do. That's a commerce that all of us are involved in. And I think the first thing that happens to us is we need to become non-resistant to something better happening. You know, we fight and fight and fight our goods so many times because we don't know it, so we're kind of afraid of it. So we become non-resistant, and then we become open to receiving, and we say, thank you. You know, we have an attitude of gratitude as these things come to us. And then finally, after we take a deep breath, and it's okay to receive, I'm not going to be struck by lightning because something good happened to me, we become in the flow. We really get that feeling that I'm not the dead end to receiving, that I get to pass it on also, until finally we're contributing to the flow, we're energizing the flow. That we really are not just experiencing it, but we are being it in so many things. And one of the people that I think exemplifies this so well is Rosalind Carter, who passed this past week, and the energy that she left behind, because what she did, no matter what position she was in, she was authentic and consistent through all of these, championing equal rights and opportunities. She was an advocate for mental health. Remember when she was in, we weren't quite so awakened to really the needs of mental health in our community. She supported caregivers, those people that aren't seen, that are in their home, that they may work all day and come home and take care of, whether it be a child or whether it be their parents at night, those quiet people that are in service. So she was really supportive of so many of the silent people that needed the connection, disabled people, getting the rights, more rights for disabled people. That's that personal evolution of livelihood. So there's a parallel between our humanness, our everyday life, and our spirituality. And what we're doing is called spiritual integrity. We become authentic, that we walk our talk, if you will. So the first thing that we know as humans for our body, for this whole thing, is hydration is really important. We can't go very long without taking fluid into our body. Metaphysically, though, if we look at this, there's a story in the Bible where Jesus was thirsty, he's sitting at the well, there's a Samaritan woman there, and she offered to give him a drink. Now, the import of this is that the Samaritans and the Jews were not friendly. They were considered enemies, and she offered him this drink. And he talks to her about drinking of the living water, that they will not thirst. And the idea of the living water is really our spiritual realization, that once we open ourselves, become non-resistant to receiving those spiritual messages, to receive them fully without the resistance to them, that yearning, that emptiness that we sometimes feel becomes full. So what we needed for the body is also metaphysically needed for our spirit. Good nutrition is the next one. You know, we know that preservatives in our food isn't great for us, that organically grown foods are better. We know that we need to eat from however food groups. I had 7 food groups as a kid. I think now it's down to 4. I mean, we understand this about ourselves. And so we have this physical balance that we're always searching for to keep this vehicle that we have operating. Well, metaphysically, Jesus says it's not what goes into your mouth that defiles you, what comes out of our mouth. So just as we nourish our body, we need to nourish our mind and our spirit, our consciousness. Think of what we put into our minds. Think of what comes out of our mouth. And, and even on the best of days with the best of intentions, I hear myself getting fearful about something or negative about something because it's overwhelming. I don't know what to do about it. And that's when, if we can have that internal little ding that says, pay attention here, this is not one of the 4 basic food groups for your mind or your spirituality, This is toxic. This is toxic. Just let it go. Something, learning how to redigest that. In fact, I think I have that later about digestion. So we got the water, we have the food, but if we don't exercise it, nothing doesn't really help our bodies much. You can have the most perfect intake, but if you don't use it, use it or lose it, right? We need to really get out and move our body, do something, whatever we're capable of, to use what we've taken in. Does that make sense? Metaphysically, we have all these theories, we read, but unless we put it into practice, it really doesn't mean anything. In fact, they call it, if you don't put it into practice, you're going to get spiritual indigestion and constipation. Have you ever been spiritually constipated? It doesn't feel good. I tell you. Things get jammed up. All of a sudden, life feels like it's just stopped because we haven't put into practice those things that we know, those things that are easy, those things that we're invited to do in life, and for some reason, we're holding back. There's also the point of detoxification for our body. We know that we do take in things, or maybe we've overworked some of our organs, like the stomach, this past, after Thanksgiving. And sometimes it's to give everything a rest, to detoxify, to release those toxins by just allowing the process to stop and to rest for a while. The same thing is true of our minds and our spirituality, that we need to detoxify ourselves, fasting from toxic thoughts, fasting from unforgiveness. And that's sometimes a tricky one, because sometimes we don't even know what we're unforgiven in the back of our mind. Something we've held for so long, we think it's our own appendage. And so to really take that inventory every now and then, what do I need to rest about? What is an energy or a thought within me that is draining me, that is clogging up, that is constipating the flow for me, if you will, that is causing me indigestion in life? Indigestion, I think, is sometimes when we just keep bumping up to a block one time after another and can't figure it out, it's because we haven't recentered ourselves to really apply those very things that we're learning. And here's a really key one. It says, consent that it's all good, that it's all God. How do you look at the world? Do you look at the world as something that's out to get you, that's going to trick you up, that's in competition with you, that is going to test you every corner of the way? Or can you really look at the world and perceive it as something that is supporting you, that is loving you, that is creating opportunities for you, that wants you to succeed in being lively, being in that livelihood? Metaphysically, it's as simple as that one power and one presence, God the good. Can you live and perceive the world with a sense of being mothered by the universe? When you look at all those stars out there, because you see them all part of your energy, supporting you, loving you, and critical part here, not judging you. Just as you are, there's this wonderful energetic support that the universe is offering you. Michael Beckwith tells a story about giving consent to possibility. And this is both with our personal visioning of what we want for our future and as a community, what our community vision is. And they were, at that time, meeting in a hotel. Michael Beckwith that wrote the book, meeting in a hotel in Los Angeles. And now it's a mega church. But from the hotel to the building, there was this stretch. So they had a building that was being constructed. They had a board meeting one night. And here's the point. Their contract was up at the hotel in 6 weeks. And there was still a lot to go on with the building. The contractor happened to be at this board meeting. And he said, can everybody here really agree with the possibility that we will be there November 1st to open up for our first service? And there was some mumbling around the board members. They just couldn't quite get it. They weren't quite sure. There's so many things that could happen, and there's been some delays, and yada, yada. He said, I've had 2 brochures here made up. One that we send out to our members that say, we are closing our doors November 1st, and we'll let you know we're open again. The other says, November 1st, we are having the grand opening in our new building. Which one should I send out? He locked the door to the room and said, we're going to sit here until we can all say there's a possibility, we can live, that there's a possibility that this will happen. And at the time, they didn't have the money totally in place to pay for the contractor. He was going to the bank the next day to arrange for the final financing. And what happened before he got there was the loan guy looking over this application sheet. He didn't know Michael Beckwith. This is, years ago. And as he was working on, the loan application guy was working on the sheet, the manager of the branch came by and said to him, oh, what you working on there? He said, oh, it's this building loan for Michael Beckwith Church of Gapway. He goes, oh, I know that church. Michael Beckwith, yes, approve it. Now, Michael had never met this man, but somehow the energy had gotten there to him. They approved it. The contractor, as I said, was at the business meeting. They did get it opened on November 1st. It was in cement. It was without air conditioning, and it happened to be a really hot late fall day. It was like 90 degrees in Los Angeles, but they were open. It's that whole thing about if you believe the universe truly is supporting you to live in that realm of possibility. You don't have to know the how, it's just being that possibility. And then one other thing that we need, certainly, to live is light. We know that we need vitamin D, whether we take it by a vitamin pill or the sun. Metaphysically, we know that we are that light, that little burst, that quantum burst of light that's happening all the time. But it's hard to remember that as we're going about doing things, feeling things, being very human in things. So Deepak Chopra wrote a great little article the other day about reductionism. And so many times when we look at things and what's happening, we reduce them to a very simple form. Sometimes it's called science. But if you were to say, what is the universe made of? Is that really the right question? You can say all the elements, all the energy and stuff that's happening, but there's more than that that's happening. There's a relationship between everything and the impact. So, beyond science, beyond the light just that we need metaphysically, there's 3 factors. One is qualia, the quality of experience beyond the data. One is entanglement, that there is nothing that is isolated. All events are interconnected. And the third is consciousness, how we experience life. So an example of this would be, if Steve was sitting over here and he happened to hit a cymbal, and I heard this big bang, I'd jump. We'd probably all jump. That's the experience that we just had. We heard a loud bang, and we had this reaction. So the entanglement, that he made a loud sound on the cymbals, we all had a response. We had this communal response in here. And then when we look and see what it is, we might laugh or take a deep breath. So that's beyond the details. That's beyond the facts. This is the consciousness of life that we're talking about. This is the light that we're seeking, beyond the data, not reducing things to numbers and facts, but to allow them to expand into really what our experience of life is. And then the seventh thing we need is rest. We know we need our physical rest. But spiritually, too, we need those rests, those Sabbaths, those times of no thought. Does anybody get a little sweaty when I say, don't have a thought for a few minutes? There's so many things to think about. Oh my God, there's so many things to think about. But it's amazing what that kind of rest will do for you. Even if you can grab a minute of just being. So, the spirituality of our livelihood is about being integrated, it's about being authentic, it's about seamless. The old Greek saying, as above, so below. We want that to be true for us, as within, so without. And today, as we do our Christmas decorations, we can think that we're really all refugees from something in our life, something that we've left behind, something that we're making a new home or a new path for. We're all refugees, and what a difference making that something beautiful brings hope to us, creating beauty, bringing light. And I hope as you're doing your own Christmas decorations or working with us here today, thinking about that hope, that light that we're bringing to others. So affirmation time. Let's affirm together. I declare my aliveness in my awareness of the good that surrounds me and infiltrates me. I integrate what I have learned into what I choose to do. I perceive the world as the realm of luminosity and possibility. My light is without limit. My livelihood is the enthusiastic embodiment of oneness, and so it is. Amen. With that, we're going to go into a little time of meditation. I invite you to just check in with yourselves for a moment. Are you comfortable? Do you need to move? You may need to readjust yourself and just close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Check your hands. Those beautiful appendages that allow us to do so many things. Give them permission to relax. If there's any control to be given, give it to your lungs to breathe at will, beautifully, deeply. The joy, the preciousness of this moment. Breathing in that beautiful decoration of God as us. That decorative light, that sparkly Christmas ball. Within this universe, we can be that very thing that brings hope. As much as our eyes might tell us about the world, we choose to move from eyesight to insight, to see the continuity of love and harmony from one expression, one decoration, one human to another. We choose and choose again, not by eyesight, but by insight. Our livelihood, our spiritual livelihood, is to become that better conduit for spirit, to discover more ways to be open, more ways to be receptive, more ways to remove ill-founded resistance so that we might embrace the beautiful, embrace the possibilities. With each breath we take, there's that wonderful gratitude within us, a beautiful attitude that carries us forward, that this life is not a problem to be solved, but an opportunity to be lived. An experience that is gifted to us not in years, months, weeks, or days, but moment by moment. We appreciate that our living is a gift, is a song to be sung. It is the way of peace, the way of connection, the deeper understanding of oneness. And so we sing that song unabashedly, reveling in the joy of being a light, of being the beauty, of being a vibration of hope for all those who are seeking it. We are that perfect channel, that growing channel of spirit in and through us to express all the love and the peace that we might accept. And so it is. Amen.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
That's gratitude you can feel. Thank you, Greg. So, spiritual liberation practice for the week. You know, when I started learning spirituality, I kept learning different techniques, and I thought, my God, if I have to do these every day, I will never get to live or do anything. So I give you a little idea every week. You can try it on and throw it away and try something else next week. So let's start out with, what is green covered in Christmas lights, Christmas bulbs, and goes ribbit? A mistletoe. Okay. What did Adam say on the day before Christmas? It's Christmas Eve, yeah, okay, one more. What happened to the man who stole the Advent calendar? He got 25 days. Oh, Okay, the universal light is laughter. And I say, put some light in the world this week, put a little laughter out there. Did you smile today? And also, starting next week, Advent starts, and the first couple songs of service are going to be some Christmas carols. If you'd like to get up on stage and help lead them, we'll have some Santa hats here, so come on in and join us with some caroling for that. And with that, I'm going to invite DSehaun to come back. Speaking of singing,
Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. Here we go. There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on, celebration. Come on, let's celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. Come on, celebrate and have a good time. Here we go. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on. Yeah, go. Yahoo! A celebration. Celebrate good time. Come on. A celebration. Celebrate good time. Come on. A celebration. Here we go. There's a pot going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. Come on, let's celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on. Yahoo! A celebration, yeah. A celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. Here we go, yeah. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Just celebrate, it's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Just celebrate, it's alright. Celebration, it's alright. Celebration, celebrate, it's alright. Here we go. Celebrate good time, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. All right, I want to hear you guys, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. All right, yeah. Here we go. Celebrate good times, come on.
Thank you once again Beautiful voice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now it's the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by sharing of the blessings we have received. We know that the gift we give is not a debt we owe. It is a seed we sow from a consciousness of abundance. If you are donating by check or cash, place your gift in the glass jar on the table. If you're donating electronically or by other means, take a moment to place your hand over the jar or your heart. You can also use one of the affirmation tokens. We bless our gifts as we share of our love and our treasure by affirming together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. We'll continue our blessing by singing, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
We are grateful for everyone's continued generosity of support of Unity. One of the ways that we show that gratitude is by sharing of our gifts with others. For the month of November, you voted to share a portion of your tithes with Girls on the Run to support their work for girls to instill valuable life skills, including the important connection between physical and emotional health. I'd like to invite Derek and his brother DeCarian to come up to the Derek DeCarian. Derek DeCarian.
Said you
Come
wanted
on.
to do this. You told me you wanted to do this, but the Carrion would like to do it too, so I thought he could come up with you and you could do it as brothers.
So we're going to take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in the gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table. So Derek, would you please lead us, and DeCarian, please lead us in reading that thing up there.
Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit.
And so it is. Amen. Thank you both. Today, following service, we will be decorating the Great Hall for Christmas. You are invited to stay after service to make our space ready for the holidays. This week, Maja is beginning a new series of yoga classes, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Take the whole series or be a drop-in, the perfect thing to help you have a relaxing holiday season. There's more information on this in the Unity Pulse on your table. This Friday is Lunch Bunch at 1 p.m. at McAllister's Deli, which used to be the Krispy Kreme Donut Building. It's helpful to contact Nancy Clater or the church office so we can reserve enough seats. But if you become free at the last minute, drop-ins are always welcome. The new December Unity Pulse is on your table. Please take it as a handy reference for what is happening at Unity. There are posters for events on the information rack and more information on our website, unitylansing.org. So let's stand as we are able to create a circle of consciousness, and we stand at the tables. And we will sing the peace song followed by the prayer of protection and reminder honor personal choices about whether or not to hold hands.
Rebels. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.